You're up.
Hey, seriously, you timed that perfectly. Hello, happy Friday. It's Friday. We are dancing. It is the party. It's the afternoon. We're getting our weekend on already, talking about how to be in our body today. This is some good, awesome, juicy goodness. So yes, we are chatting all about how to activate your success switch for ease and fulfillment. And I'm so honored to be joined by the amazing Patrick LaRouge and all the awesomeness that he does. We're going to be talking some juicy topics today. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself. I'm Stacey Rasky, best-selling author, speaker, Iraq War veteran, badass biker chick, leadership mentor, and soulful success coach, helping visionary founders and CEOs shatter the invisible ceiling to become the revolutionary leaders they're called to be, elevating their legacy of impact while enjoying the ride. And you may know Patrick because I shared my podcast interview with him earlier this week. On Tuesday was the release of our amazing chats. All about the body there as well. We talked about some different juicy topics relating to that. So that was so fun and so awesome. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's such an honor to have you. So please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am a productivity and an efficiency specialist that really gets down into the nitty-gritty of breaking through people's glass ceilings. But I do it through getting into the body and bring a person aware of where they're at, bringing them aware of what's happening inside their world. So now they understand the experience that they're having is something that's happening internal. Right? Kill the internal struggles so they don't have the external battles.
That is so powerful. Internal struggles, so they don't have shifting the internal struggles so they don't have the external battles, right? I love that. So I am super excited because we are going to be talking about some things that people just don't normally talk about, especially when thinking about like productivity and performance and really elevating our leadership, influence, success, all the things that I'm talking about. So I shared a bit of the preview of the magic of what you do with really transmuting these belief systems and releasing trauma from the body to really elevate all of these things, the productivity, the performance, accessing the potential, the ease, the flow, all of that stuff. Why is the body the missing piece for so many people when it comes to accessing so much more of our capacity?
Okay, let's think about this. That is a common term that I hear so often that we've been ingrained for. Let's think about this. Let's think about it. Hold on. Are you thinking all these different things, which is just drives energy up here? It's so easy to say, and it's so oftenly done that we forget about our bodies. So I often talk about the extra 10%. If you can get access to this 10%, you'll get this snowball that's rolling out, just grow big. That's where this lies. If you can get into your body, you'll access that momentum for action. So when people start to overthink, they're forgetting that the brain and the mind and everything up here is all about strategic. It's about planning. It's about seeing anything and nothing about movement. So if a person wants to get moving and they want to move faster and better, they need to get into their body. So because we've been taught to stay in our head and overthink things, and we live in this world that just separates things from black or white, right or wrong, good or bad, that we never get back into action and moving and back in what feels right? That's where it gets that hard feeling that people have. They have a hard time with it in that way.
Why do you think so many people, I mean, and you just touched on this, obviously, like there's all these habits and patterns of why people stay in their head. And I talk about this a lot in the context of like a masculine and feminine energy where, you know, our logic, the strategy, the thinking, all of that stuff, right, is this masculine energy where, you know, being in our body is our feminine flow, our ability to allow and receive and release and trust and our creativity and all of the awesomeness. And why do you feel like that has been kind of trained out, programmed out of so many people's performance.
That's a good one, because how do I get this right? Like, the way that the world has been going, and the trend from a very long time, is you get from point A to point B as fast as possible. The straightest line possible is it. So you have to think about what's right, rather than exploring the world and the way the world is, which is very curvy. Like, the question I always love asking people is, how many boyfriends or girlfriends did you have before you found the right one? Doesn't make those other ones bad. It just makes them experience points for you to do it. And that's the curviness of what makes you you, right? So we've been conditioned for a very long time to get from point A to point B very, very fast. So we have to think everything through so we can get it right the first time, rather than realizing all those other boyfriends, all those other things that happened that were wrong, were actually training you and getting you better and learning who you are. And that's the curvy. That is the beauty about what's happening. So the more times you make the mistake, as long as you're present and you're in your body while making the mistake won't happen as often, but you'll also learn deeply what's actually happening. And then you'll no longer need it, because you learned your experience, because you're in your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is so powerful. And I really feel like that is that secret to this influential leadership, because instead of avoiding the pain or the discomfort of potentially, not being perfect or successful, or, reaching the standard, or it playing out how we expect it to, or avoiding that discomfort, or of potentially not reaching the goal, or of the failure, or whatever the story is we tell ourselves, it's bringing in such playful energy to, like, no, this is all on the path to where I desire to be. It's with this playful energy. It's adding some fun to things not working out exactly as they need to. And I find so many of these, like, epic high performers so rigid that they lose the play that actually opens them up to something so much better. I mean, I know that was a big unlocking for me in my journey, to be, like, really letting go of a lot of this how I get there, in order to sort of just enjoy the journey. Like, yep, that's where I want to go. There's the destination. But how curvy that road is, like, that's okay. And it opens us up to so much more.
You experience so much more because you're actually experiencing, rather than thinking it should be. And, like, I have one of my lessons that I teach is an acronym called MOM. It's mechanics, observation, mentioning. So we have to really get you to really see what's actually happening in your head. And that is the very first part. Think about it as your why. But then you have to observe everything. And that's the how you do everything. But then the key component, the fun one that everyone gets stuck in, is the mechanics of it. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing this right? All these different things. And that's inside your head. The biggest thing that I love to do is get people to observe. And when people observe, they're either going to try to do it from their head, but once they get into their body and just play with it, that's when shit gets really, really, like, opens, expands, and it's just like, oh, this is awesome. And that is the key, is getting that right. Getting that motivation right, getting the observation right, getting the mechanics right. That is the key for that.
And getting so present with ourselves and really feeling the experience in our bodies, feeling the experience. And I love how you are focused so much on really slowing down to go fast.
Yes.
Right? Because high performers, I've been sharing this a lot in, this sort of post-surgery thing, even, right? Like, yes, you are one of the amazing alpha leadership coaches in my program serving my clients, but that's because I was working with you. I've been working with you, and it's so epic and amazing. And learning how to be in this stillness and this slowness at a whole next level was like, okay, I got to sit in the fact that this is uncomfortable, right? Like, because it was stuff I was already doing, but now it's like at that next level.
Well, I would say I'm honored just to be hanging out with you and having some fun, let alone helping you and working you out with you. the key component is everyone thinks there's more. You need to do another thing here, another thing there. But once you start looking at your life, once you start seeing that you're already doing the things that you need to do, you just need to be a little bit more present. And even the people that say, oh, I'm really, really present. I meditate. I do all this. I was like, oh, okay. How does it feel when you do X, Y, Z? And they're like, oh, wait, I don't know. I can't really describe it, because they do the things that they're doing at the place that they're doing it. To get better, you have to get a little bit more slow to see the details. And that's where I come in. I get you to actually see what's actually happening. And the biggest tell is what's happening in your body. And I tell people, once your fight or flight, once your nervous system starts to raise for any reason whatsoever, you get to a point, you're going to start shutting off some sensory stuff. That's what the brain does. You no longer feel. So you're like, even during interviews, even though you do things, you're going to see me like always touching something, always moving my ring. I do this with my fingers all the time, because the more I can feel, the more I can drop my nervous system. So people think I'm very, very giddy and nervous and all that. It's not. It's just me staying present, because there's all sorts of stressors. Am I saying the right thing? What is happening? Like, oh my God, what happens if someone doesn't like me? I can just fire you up. So I'm always consistently touching base with myself, consistently feeling myself. And that's the key. It's, you already have everything that you need. You just now need to live your life and experience your life for where you're at. And then things start to move relatively fast, relatively simple and easy.
Oh, I love it. And I love that you say the same stuff that I say. It's so aligned, right? I'm always like, saying those exact same things. So it was a perfect segue for you to start talking about the activation of our nervous system. Because that is such a perfect magical component to what you do and what, because I feel like that is the switch that we're talking about, that success switch. Because, yes, we're talking about the feelies and we're talking about kind of this high level overview. But I think really helping the audience, and we've got two different Lisas have commented. They're so excited to be here joining us and watching. And are like, yay. And a couple other people. So what is this role of our activating our nervous system, this fight or flight? And how is that, you started to share just a smidge, but then how is that interfering with this, obviously allowing what we desire, because it's obviously turning things on or turning things off when we're in that state. And how can they begin to bring that down?
Okay, so let's go very, very high and work our way in this thought. Everybody understands the fight or flight mechanism. What they don't see, that's very, very high. We understand, like, if something goes down, either we're going to run or we're going to fight. But either or, your body is not going to do anything in the healing component as well as be connected component. So if we're in business, if we're in a fight or flight mechanism, it's how well can you connect to the person that you're trying to talk with? How well can you do that? But if you're in a fight or flight mechanism, you're only looking to run away or prove your point. And that's not understanding the person that's in front of you, right? So we have to realize, again, everything jacks up your nervous system. So you have to always consistently be in touch with, can you feel yourself? Literally, can you feel your heart? Can you feel the sensations in your hands? Because that will show you how much you're here. And the more you can take that down on a daily basis, the more opportunities will show up, because they're already there. It's just we witness them. We're aware of them. And as you start to become more and more slow in your nervous system, and they call it grounded, and let's say, as soon as your nervous system is down, you get into your body, they start working together, and you walk yourself into magical experiences. But then you start to take advantage of them. And I guess that's a strong, crazy word, take advantage of them, but you'll start accepting them, and they will start happening way more fast. They'll come easier. And that's why I tell people, I get you to do more in less time, because I drop your nervous system. You start accepting stuff. Yeah, come on my way. All because we drop your nervous system. And that's the fun part. It doesn't have to be hard. It's relatively simple. Mm-hmm. But you have to be aware of this one belief. Does it really have to be hard? Are you reaching for your floor, in essence? You find the little number that you need and you try to grab it. And that's what you do. But you're trying to grab the littlest number possible. Rather than going high and just like, all right, I know what I need to survive, but let's go here. But some people look at that gap, nervous system jacks up, they don't even see that exists. They go into a survival mechanism. And that is where we've grown up. This is where people have always seen. That's our generational learning. So many people are on a lack mentality because we were taught this is the only way to be. We were taught it shouldn't be easy. You have to work hard, do it right, like think about it. All these things that happen that keep you up here that no longer keep you here. And if you started leading with this, you'll start feeling more. If you start feeling more, you start to become more aware of when you're starting to look around like, oh, something doesn't feel right. And if something doesn't feel right, what's the natural thing to do? Slow down. That's it. And once you do that, things start moving. You start connecting with people more. This is the fun one, people start gravitating towards you because you actually are in a safe place. Every human organism wants to be with someone that's going to make them feel safe. And that's not just, I can fight. It's all about emotional safety. Is this person listening to me? Is this person able to understand where I'm going? And this fun one, have they been through their shit enough that they know how to walk me through mine? That is where we have to get back into our emotional place, keep our nervous system low so we can go through our stuff. And then we open up to everybody and be like, by the way, I can help you. Do you want help? And then it becomes easy because now they're like, oh yeah, you seem pretty damn cool. Pretty nice. Let's go. What's wrong with it?
Oh, like you just summed up the magic of my experience recently of what it's really meant to be influential. Being in that flow of effortless success where it's just opportunities coming flooding in and these amazing people coming flooding in. And it's just all about being who I am being. The more grounded I am in my body, the more I'm allowing myself to feel. And this, as I'm always talking about breaking down that wall and really being able to access our authenticity, our vulnerability, our trust, our power comes from our body and being able to access all of that. And I love how quickly, like you said, right? It doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to take forever. And that was like the magic of what you do is it's like, bam. And there you go. It's so fast.
It takes people by surprise.
Yeah.
And then this is the other side of the story. Sometimes people don't even recognize it's happening.
Yeah.
Because we hold on to these beliefs that it needs to be a certain way. And when things just turn around and just happen, we don't expect it to ever happen. So we never notice it happened. Like when I was I started off as a body worker 20 years back, started off a body worker. And I was doing all this body work. And then sessions in, people will be like, oh my God, this hurts now. Why does this hurt? I was like, oh, but what happened to the other thing? They're like, what other thing? It's like the thing that you came in with. Like that was the problem. What's going on with that? Like, did that get better? Like, oh, I can't even remember the last time that happened. I can't remember the last time I was in pain like that. That's why this bothers me so much. And then they go into the next final thing, which jacks up the nervous system, and then they can't heal. Same process of bringing the nervous system down brings you back to here. And then the next thing just happens and you forget about it. That's how fast this can work. Your body knows how to excel. Your body knows how to move. It's just you have to sync up the patterning with how fast you can move. And that's the glitch that I see. I have to get people to slow down their mind a little bit so they can let their body catch up. And once their body catches up, then they feel safe and they run off with it. And they just go. And it just happens like that. And it's hilarious to watch sometimes. It is absolutely beautiful. It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious. Lisa Farah shared a really amazing comment here about her doctor sharing that her parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems are stuck.
Aha.
Yeah. And this is when the body shuts you down if you don't recognize what you need to change.
Now that's a fun one. Do you want to go at it? Well,
oh no, please. No, this is I mean, we're jamming back and forth, but people hear enough about me. I really want to highlight the magic and the power of what you do today. So please.
So if I were like looking at this case and I'm like, oh man, the doctor said it's stuck. First, did it ever get unstuck? Number one, that's something like that. But then it's just like, all right, so you're stuck in this place. What's happening? What's happening now? And then why do you think it'll never change? So then they're going to talk about all the different environmental things that's happening. I tripped and stubbed my toe. I do it once a week. My back falls apart every now and then. And that's like once a month. I was like, all right, so your nervous system's jacked up high and it's staying up high. What is making you want to hold on to all these different things? How does it have to be that way? And I get them to realize, one, you're not in your body. You're way out there, because this is how anxiety works, is you project something in the future. And as you project something in the future, you're way out there. Because you're way out there, you can't be here. And it's the exact opposite of depression. Depression is like you're looking way back there and you're way back in the past. And like, oh man, what happens if that happens over here? But it's not here, it's over there. So you're always jumping over yourself back and forth, and it's never a game of here. So when a person shows me this world of their nervous system stuck high, I know they're someplace else. So all I have to do to get them to get unstuck, number one, is bring them back here. But this is the iffy part, the fun part, let's call it, is when a person starts to get into this place, they might freak out a little bit because they never felt before. So everything that I do is like, all right, I got to watch you a little bit, because what's happening right now? Do you feel safe? And then I bring back into a conditioning of you are governing yourself into a safe place. So now you're self-managing yourself in this world. And now you're teaching yourself how to bring your nervous system down in real time. Bring your nervous system down, slow down, and be here for a second. Yeah, it's uncomfortable because now you're feeling yourself. I remember when the heartbeat one was my lie detector. My energetic coach taught me so many different things, but this one lie detector was awesome. He was like, all right, you're feeling your heart. When your heart skips a beat, you know something's off in your environment because your body tells you everything. I learned it real quick. Energetically, it wasn't actually my heart that I was feeling. And to prove that, this is how freaking crazy I am, I wore a heart rate monitor. I had all these different things, and what would happen, I was like, what was my heart rate? And I'd go crazy because I had to logically make it happen. Then I realized finally this was energetic. I was feeling people. And when things didn't go right, I would feel it. The first time I taught an actual client about the heart rate, she's freaked out because she's never felt her heart before. She's like, I never felt this before. This never happened. And that's when I also learned how heightened people are, and they make that their norm. Mm-hmm. She never felt what it felt like to feel her heartbeat. She was always looking for it. Hey, this is a joke of mine. I never feel my heart. Then I brought her back down, and she's like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, it's going so fast. I was like, oh, by the way, that's not good either, because now we have to slow down your heart rate, because now you're actually seeing what's happening. This is before the Fitbit days where you can something that everyone has to understand. If you're stuck at a high place, you have to bring yourself back to here, acknowledge here, affirm here, so you can move forward.
Well, and I love the power of that. I always talk about that, how, especially these visionaries, these high performers really become almost habitually addicted to being in that heightened sensory state, to that heightened nervous system state, right? Because we're always in that hustle, the drive, the, got to get this done, or the check the boxes, or whatever that stuff is. But almost, that was my thing. It was like, you said it, right? That was my norm, was being in that heightened state. And even as I was going through all of my healing journey, realizing how much I was addicted to avoiding myself, avoiding being with me. So of course, at that highest level was, right, the addiction, the alcoholism, the emotional eating, the avoidance through work, the avoidance through television and social media, all of those things. But looking back throughout my life, it was like, oh no, my achievement, my drive, all the things, the busyness, were all these things to fill that space. So I didn't have to be present with me and just keep me in this new norm, this new comfort zone of always being in this heightened state. So when it was like learning how to back that down, it was weird, and it is like uncomfortable, but I have to share this because Lisa, my amazing client, that, now that Patrick is one of my amazing coaches, she is sharing the power of her first TRE session.
That's awesome, girl.
She had it on Monday. On Monday was her first TRE session, right? Wasn't it? Monday was hers. And how epic and amazing is that?
Like, like, girl, yeah, you just got me with that one.
Right.
I'm happy and proud of you. The reason why I say that is because it's always a gift to see something like this, because I don't really do the work. I'm just the guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it all the times with every single one of my sessions. It's like, I could show you the way, but you have to allow. This is allowing. You have to allow your body out, and you have to allow your body to go. And it's fucking hard to let go of that control for a half a second and say, all right, go ahead. And then it's even harder to see that shit going. And you're like, holy crap, what is happening? And you want to rein it back in because you're just not used to it. The fact that you did it for your body to make a change, that means it feels safer. And because you feel safer, you're able to move so much faster, so much better without the extra noise of pain, extra noise of what's happening in here. And that's why I love working with high achievers, because they're running so fast. They're so used to running so fast, and they think it's the only way. They think it's the way. Prove me wrong. That's shit. That's calm down shit. That doesn't work. But as soon as they experience it, they're just like, holy cow.
No, be real. Holy shit.
I was cursing this whole time, and I said that's just true. Like fuck, like how I did not do this before. Like, what stopped me? Like, why did I do it the hard way? And I just like, because you thought it was the right way. It's because there's belief systems that make you think you need to be this way, and you can't shit on it. You can't, because that's what got you here. It just no longer serves you to make it to your next level, which means you have to learn a whole new skill set. The skill set's actually slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right? Isn't it?
I can't see these things, so it's like you hit me, and it's like, oh damn. Like, you like stab. Oh man, Lisa, I'm so happy for you, girl, and I'm glad, I'm honored that you feel safe, because that's everything. That's the emotional connection that we have, right? And this is everybody. Once you bring your nervous system down, you actually start listening to people. The fun part is, with me in general, is everyone's first look at me and my mannerisms, how animated I am. They think I'm ungrounded. But I connect with people so fast because I feel them. I see them. It's like that Avatar movie. I see you. Like I feel and I love. Like, stop putting those things up, because you jacking me up, mama. You jacking me up.
How quickly can we get Patrick to cry today?
But that's kind of like the whole thing. You're fucking with me right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. You got me too.
But I mean, that's the thing, right? That's the magic we are all talking about in the work that we do, respectively, individually, and then obviously the power of why we came together in this bigger vision, and why I brought you in, because obviously this your zone of genius, and the magic of what you do is not something I can replicate. So it's like, no, this absolutely needs to be in my programs, helping my clients. And between you and Jessica and Abraham, we are fully rounded mind, body, soul. You know, we're addressing the energetics, we're addressing the physiological response in our body, we're addressing the emotional intelligence, the mindset, the belief system, and all of us working together synergistically is helping to hit that easy button and the fast track to success, where it literally is like a switch in all the work that we're doing together. At the end, we'll have to explain to Lisa Farah. She's like, I don't know what TRE is, but you'll have to explain that, because I was going to ask you about what you are bringing assets wise, because obviously everybody sees you are just amazing and magical with who you are and what you do, and just you bringing that and holding that safe space for everybody the way that I do, the way that Jessica does, the way that Abe does. We're able to really hold this safe space for people to get into themselves, to break down those walls, step into the full identity of the amazing leader, influencer, impactor they're called to be, fully own and embrace their power and confidence, and share it with the world the way they're called to. So what inspired you to be part of this big mission that I'm always talking about with being influential and sharing some of what exactly you do? And that gives you a chance to share about what the TRE is too. Was that a lot?
I right before, like right as we started, it finally clicked on to me. I was like, shit, I've been channeling Stacy for a little bit now. Mm-hmm. That's literally what I wrote. Like, I've been channeling Stacy. Like, I've been feeling it. I've been doing something like that. And that brings us to our very first conversation. It started off like I asked these lovely, stupid little questions every single day just to have some fun with talk with people. And Stacy wrote something about the Iraq War. And I said, oh, I want to meet you. And it was just something that it was so like easy. I was just like, and then everything started working out really, really fast. And that is the first thing that drew me to you, is that it was fucking simple. Right. I came and talked to you, then we sat down and we started talking. We thought we're going to have a 20-minute conversation. I was like, fuck, it's an hour and a half. Oh, well, let's do something else. And they were like, oh man, it is an hour and a half. But I have this time over here and it just opens up. And I was like, holy crap, I have that time open up too. And then we did a TRE session. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome for you. This is awesome for me. And we just started jamming away. And then but am I lying?
No, it was so flow, right? Like you were literally talking about, right? Attracting these opportunities, these amazing people into your network, things feeling effortless and easy, and being around people who really activate the best in each other. And it's one of those scenarios where I'm always like, when you're in that zone, when you're in that flow, when you're in the influence like that, 1 + 1 = 7 in what you're able to create, co-create, and impact.
So from there, it turned into like, I want to make a bigger impact. She's already making a bigger impact. 1 + 1 = 7, right? I was like, all right, well, let's see what happens if I add in the shit that I'm doing, like the massively crazy, easy, simple things that I'm doing that amplifies a person all the way around. I wonder what would happen. And then I started to see, like, if I did small little things, I'm able to amplify my own clients. What happens if they're getting all these different things? That's a variable I never, ever thought about. So I was like, all right, let's check this out. Let's have some fun with it, because if you're not having fun, you're in your head, and if you're in your head, you're dead, right? So I jumped in, and just like the conversation in the beginning, it was off to the races. It was so easy. I was like, oh, I can do this now. And then I can do this. And then I turned into this kid in a candy store. And that's my play zone. If I can just be like that, things start changing rapidly. And that's what attracted me. That's what got me in. And that's why I'm just like, let's have some fun. And the fact that Lisa just said what she just said, woo, girl, you touched me in places. Woo-hoo. Like, this is like, but that's what it is. Like, now I got my validation that I was working extremely fast. Now I can work even faster, because the people that's here are already high vibing. They're already starting to do half of the work. And now it brings it to TRE. All I have to do is bring them back into their body. And what TRE stands for, let me just forget about all the technical stuff for a second. It brings you back into your body and allows your body to let go of the deep tension that even meditation can't get rid of, some yogas, all the different things that we think is the thing that we're doing right. If you allow the human organism to be the human organism, it will let go of things you can't access, because it's designed to hold on to things. TRE gives you that privilege and allows your body to be out. Think about the inner rebel. I call it the inner child. Those things, those lovely little people inside of us, we've been smushing down for a very long time. It gives that person inside you, that inner child, that inner rebel, a place to speak out and let go of stuff that's governing you today. The more and more you suppress that, the more and more you'll get up there all looking great, and then all of a sudden something will fall. Shoe would fall off the other foot. I see it all the time. I'm doing so awesome, but all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. The feast and famine starts to happen. All these different things start happening because it's the inner child saying, like, that's what happens. But I now bring a person back into their body, And once they're in their body, they get to go forward. But I also have to re-educate the mind based off the belief systems. And once I get the belief system to clear up using Dottie, it's almost like very similar to calming your nervous system down using your eyes. You're getting access to your subconscious and rewriting and reframing the belief systems that's dictating you today into a place where you want to go into. And as we do that more and more, keeping you in your body, now you're consistently running and you're jumping. And I consistently see in my practice, people doing things that they never fathomed doing without even realizing that they're doing it, right? Now it's just a matter of, we're going to put it into Stacy's world. And now you ladies are going to freaking kill. You guys are going to just, it's going to come so simply because you don't have to think about it. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this today. Okay, let's do this. It's not, I'm going to do this today, but let's plan it out. And then we're going to do it next month. And then we're going to do it over here. And then we're going to, wait, before we even set it up next month, I have to like tinker it over here and make it perfect. And then it just doesn't work because you never set it, you never set it free to blossom. You never messed it up a little bit, right?
Well, I love this is almost that anti-sabotage switch. You know, because it's really able to quickly release, you know, the control issues and, you know, the doubt and just the stuff, because it's so activating the knowing and the trusting and the ease and the flow. And then this integrates so powerfully because then it speeds up the work that they're doing with me. Because right now they're in this energy of trust and grounded in their body. And then we have these conversations about unlocking more of this authentic voice, this greater visibility, you know, everyone more powerfully connecting to the truth of who they are and allowing that to come through in their offers, in their messaging, just in their energy to call in those amazing opportunities and clients. I mean, left and right, people are raising the investment level on their offers. You know, they're putting their voice, their authentic voice out to be heard in ways they've never done before. And
that's the beauty part about this, Thace. Like, you're teaching them how to get, like, come out in this beautiful way. And I'm just giving them power to do it faster.
Yes, because I'm all about the shortcut.
It's all about the acceleration and how I'm able to do that. So I'm honored to even play with you in that realm. So great. I love it.
It is awesome. It is so awesome. And so let's see, we've got a few other comments. Yes, lots of Lisas in the world today. Johnny has there's a lot of Lisas in the comments today. So many.
Hey, Lisa. What's up, Lisa?
Jonna Key's like, I was going to do a TRE training course. She's like, I might have to come back to that, you know, and add that to her practice.
It is magic.
It is so magic. Yeah. So Michelle, I hope we've answered that question, you know, rather than really explaining like what the TRE is short for, but he explained kind of the essence of what that is with lowering this nervous system and really getting into our bodies quickly to clear up and balance quickly.
That was since we're talking about getting into your body, that's the body side, the curvy side. If she needs, I can't see the thing. So if she needs the mental aspect, it stands for tension and trauma release exercise. And it's all about getting an encoded mechanism inside your genes, inside your body, to let go of the tension that it stores by nature. When you get scared, you contract. This is getting you to uncontract, and it's just tapping into that. Hopefully that helps as well.
Yeah, always good to nurture both the masculine and the feminine energy. Right? Yeah. Gotta have the safety of like, oh, okay, I understand it, you know. The categorizing.
Just come to one of the classes.
Right.
It's a story that I start with all the time.
Yes. Let's see here. This is the perceived challenge I have with being fully aligned with my investment price for my course. Absolutely. We have that response of like, ooh, not enough, not worthy. How could I possibly give that much value? Any thoughts there, Patrick, to share?
So many. All right. So let's go with the really easy one. The feeling that you have, let's not go into the not worthy just part yet and go into the, like, what are you feeling safe doing? And if it's like, oh, I can bump up my price just a little bit, it's like, all right, perfect, go do that. And then as you're doing that, look at what your body feels like and take on that fear at that lower level, right? Take on that sensation, like, oh, wait, I feel like this. Let me sit into it. Let's lean into that a little bit on your first go, whatever it needs to be. So you can be like, oh, I feel it, and this is what my body does. Because it's going to do it 10 times more when you really go for your value. It's gonna. So instead of just saying, oh, let's just raise your price and go, and you have like this shit fit, and then you try to go sell it, and then you're like, it's like it won't happen because your nervous system is so heightened just saying it. But if you get practice feeling that sensation on that little bump, that little bump, you get that handling it, the next client, it could be possibly the next client over, like, oh, wait, it wasn't that bad. And she said, yes, because I'm worth it. So as you start to bump it up, you start to feel comfortable in yourself. Then you start to go really, really big. And then it's just like, now I know how this feels. I know the sensation. And if you're not scared, if you don't have a sensation in your body, you probably are not reaching high enough, to be honest with you. You're probably not saying, oh, this is my wall. You're probably staying in your safe zone. You need that sensation. This is how your body talks to you. It goes with it. But everyone thinks those sensations are bad. Remember, the world split this thing in black and white. And I think it's like right or wrong, good or bad. Like, for instance, Lisa touched my heart, right? And it checked me. I was like, ugh. And there goes that, like, I'm being transparent here. It's like, oh, fuck, that just, like, what? And I felt it. My nervous system jacked up. I needed to take a step in. And I was like, oh, all right. And I had to do some work right here. If you watch this on replay, rewind it and notice what I had to do. And I did it in real time just to bring myself back down so I can be here. That was a good thing that stimulated my nervous system so high that I almost checked out. That's what raising your prices is. You can feel something that is good and still your body will freak out because it's just not normal. It's not you. It's not like, but once you start getting used to that sensation, you're like, oh, something good's about to happen. Woo-hoo-hoo, let's run with this. And you start leaning into it more rather than scaring away from it. And that's when the game starts playing. That's when you start double dutching. You having some fun because now you know how far you can push before you fall over. And when you fall over, you'll laugh rather than say, shit, that was wrong. You'll laugh like, oh, that's my limit. It's right over here. And it's like just a little bit away, but it's so much further than where I was doing. And that happens 100% of the times that a person starts to find their wall. They think it's right here and they play the mind game. It's right here, right? And they stay here when it's really, really far away. It's really far away. So just reach.
I love how you hit on the fact, like, even in real time, you hit your limit on receiving. You hit your abundance capacity for just a second, right? You felt that response, right? Because it's like, whoa, I'm received. Look what I gave out before, and it just being the guide, right? But that you facilitated, and now you just received this big boom to the heart on, celebrating you and what you facilitated. And like, right, that even those of us on this journey doing all of these things to become better, we still have our moments where we can be challenged in the receiving in that way.
That is awesome. And when people have, like, this happened in real time, the example that I always use and I love using is old people having sex and dying. Sex is awesome, right? But why does that person die while doing something so great? Because that's positive stress. There's positive stresses all over the place. You have to realize that stresses you out. You're jacks up your nervous system. Your nervous system just sees a threat or not a threat. Positive stress is still stress. You have to realize that you're going through it. You have to consistently, and this is that switch that we're talking about ease and fulfillment. If you start realizing, like, instead of thinking it's stress needs to be just work, stress could be my kids. Stress could be I'm not drinking enough water. Stress could be sex. It could be getting a thank you. It could be like, here goes a good one, a hug. Right now, if somebody walked up to you and gave you a hug, based off the world, you might get COVID. You're gonna get the vid, and there's something bad about to happen to you. So what do you think the organism is going to do with that information? They'll be like, oh, wait a minute, but I kind of want it. Give it to me, but wait a minute. And there goes that struggle that's going to jack up the nervous system. You don't know what's about to happen. You have to get into your body and know where you're at so you can receive that hug. The stress, right? Bring your nervous system down. You'll be able to, business deals will become easier because you know where you're at. You'll start to see things better, feel things better, connect better. And it just gets simple from there because now you're running with your mind and your body.
That is so juicy. So juicy. Like, just want to like savor that for a minute, savor the feels and savor just the experience of that. So let's shift gears just a smidge. I know I've been working with you for a while to experience all of this powerful transformation, and it's why I had to bring the magic into my programs. And I know you and I have recently gotten started as far as you working with me. And I know you've invested in lots of programs, lots of different coaches. I just wanted you to kind of just share what has been different about the work that we've started already, just in your experience. Like, what was kind of that challenge? You were like, okay, I'm having this missing piece here, and I know I need support with this. And what has been this magic in sort of this unlocking and unfolding for you so far in the work that we've done together?
That's a fun one. Because this is not, now you're going to see a 20-year journey. I'm going to sum it up real quick. I started off in the feminine, having fun, curvy, just have fun. The universe is going to take care of you. Attract. And then through a whole bunch of things, I realized that I was attracting things, but I was also repelling them at the same time. I'd bring them in, I would repel them. And as I was getting better at learning to receive and getting better at being me. Being me.
Being authentic.
Being real. Yada over that part, but being connected with me and being me and receiving and connecting with a person, I realized if I'm going to level up my business, if I'm going to do really good, I got to start selling. I got to start getting to people. I have to start marketing. I have to start doing all these masculine, hard, straight line things, right? I got to look at the numbers. I got to do all this, and this is where I got to be. And then I got lost in that. I got lost for years. Years. I was just like, all right, we got to do this next. Got to do this next. Got to do this next. And then I hit this point, and this is how I tell people when you're done learning. When you're starting to learn all these different things, you somewhat I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to say it like this. In order for you to learn quickly, don't do this without the proper guidance, but in order for you to learn quickly, you need to eliminate everything that you've learned. Come in as a blank slate. But when you come in as a blank slate, you take on the characteristics of the person that you're saying until you get your cup full of that knowledge. Then this is where people forget to do, if they do it right, is they bring themselves back in and everything they learn and they mesh it up. So what would happen is before you start meshing it up, you'll run, and then you'll get false starts. Almost happens, you fall on your face. And that's when you have to come back and I got enough. I need to bring me back into the subject. And then I brought me back into the subject, and then I started getting better results. And then what I started to realize when I did that this time around is I'm missing something, and it's all about the feminine. I'm chasing so much, and I forgot to love and attract. I forgot who I was in that way because I've been spent so long in that masculine world. And I'm not saying the masculine world is bad, because it's not good or bad. It's just I just leaned so often on that side, and I was pushing so hard. Even though I'm playful in that, it just wasn't connecting. But as soon as I brought myself back into there, skyrocketed. And I'll give you one guess what happened as soon as I did that. Little princess walks in, blonde hair, sitting on a motorcycle, says, "Hey!" I was like, "Oh shit, let's run!" Because now I attracted it, and she attracted me, and we just ran off with it. That answers your question.
That was a really good part of that. And so what has that missing piece been for you reaching that next level in what we've been doing together and really sort of articulating and clarifying and helping to kind of, again, elevate this balance of your energetics and bringing that forth more in your business? because you've got it in your life. You've got it in a lot of the things behind the scenes. But obviously you said, right, like when it came to business, I went way too far over into the masculine. And you're like, okay, I see, I need to bring in more of the feminine, but there's still things kind of like not fully connecting with your audience.
So it's a lot of it is how I'm showing up being me rather than being the right person you want to see. And that comes back down to the conversations, right? How you're doing the conversations. I do a lot of video stuff. I'm a glutton for the camera. So I'm just like, oh, let's have some fun. You want to see me? Let's go. And I do a lot of video. And I started to no longer look at what's the right thing to say, rather than what do I feel like saying? What do I feel like saying today? And then I show up. So by me working with you and talking with you, I started to realize that I'm speaking up again. I found my voice, I believe is the way that you say it.
Yeah.
Speaking up, right? And as I started speaking up, I started to feel comfortable again. And as you feel comfortable, no matter how low your nervous system can get, Pat, and when you feel comfortable, it starts lowering even more. Things start opening up for you. Things start changing. And that's how you've been able to help, is just by, this is the fun part, just by you being in the environment, just by you being part of the system, right? You get it by osmosis. You get that energy, that clarity, that focus, just by being part of something. And that's why community is so important. And that was one of the things that was one of the very first things that, Stacey, that you have given me was the ability to focus back onto community, because I was doing it all on my own. Oh, I got to do this. And just because I'm agile and I'm able to run at this fast pace, I maintain this fast pace, I was doing it all by myself and I was bottlenecking myself. But then I realized this world of community is not just people and things I'm around that I surround myself with, but it's also a team. So just by being in this world, I started to expand in so many different ways that's outside of my comfort zone. And I sit down, I lean into it, and I'm like, oh, by the way, fuck you. All right. Let's go. So and then we run with it, right? But that's the love I have for you, girl, because this is something a lot of people don't do. They see their wall and they're like, I know I'm supposed to do that. I know it's over there. And they logically say, oh, this is what happens. I'm going to do this and I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing it, but they're never really in it. By talking with you, sorry, you're in it. You're here, and it's that simple. You're just gonna be stuck with it because we're mirrors. We're gonna show people what's going on and keep them safe while doing it. And before they know it, they're through their hard part. Right?
Oh yeah, and I think that was the value of this experience too for you, is getting so much of that reflection back, where I'm basically just straight up calling you on your shit. I'm like, okay, and here's exactly what you say, and here's the thing, and you're like, that's a tough pill to swallow for just a second. But at the same time, what's been so beautiful is to see you truly unlocking that voice and bringing you back into your business. Because I know that was a big thing for you, was that messaging piece. You're like, something's not connecting, something's not there. And I'm like, And it's been holding that space and having these conversations, but really being that activator of you reconnecting to the flow of you. And now that's coming forth. And look at you getting all the downloads, and you're getting all the ideas, and you're getting the content. You're, like you said, bringing you back into your business, and how that is bringing in all of these high level people and all of these amazing opportunities, because it's all of the work together, all the pieces.
That is absolutely true. This is not a sales pitch. It's absolutely true.
This is a sales pitch. This is a sales pitch.
Sorry.
What is it not, really?
But to be honest, like, I didn't realize until just now, like, I'm a download fanatic, and I normally sleep very well, but now I'm up writing consistently. And I'm just saying, oh, look what I wrote last night. Look what I wrote last night. Look what I wrote last night. I have my phone next to my bed, and don't ever do this, because if you don't know how to toggle yourself back down, you will keep yourself awake. So that's my disclaimer.
Use a journal, use paper.
Pen and paper, yes. But I realized when I did that, I was writing like a 3-year-old, and it was upside down. So, but I'll take my phone out, and I have a note list on my phone that says thoughts at night. And I literally just filled it up almost every single night, getting my dreams back. I'm getting all this, all because I'm hanging out with Stacy and I'm calming myself down. There's a plan. There's a bigger plan, and you don't need to know the plan. You just got to know it's there. And as you know it's there, your nervous system like, oh, I'm taken care of. What else next? What do you want me to do? And now I realize you got to step it up now. You're going to get something, girl. Mm-hmm.
And that community piece. I'm always talking about that community piece because the value of learning to truly be visible, vulnerable, and available and trusting of community in different ways. We have mentors and coaches. We have epic peers that challenge us to be better, to trust team, to trust our clients, to trust ourselves, trust the universe, whatever that is for you. Being in community is so vital to your success. That's why all of my programs are, I have my highest level private program, but for the most part, all of my programs are hybrid level programs because we need private support as much as we need community. And none of us are designed to be successful on our own. Just as much as it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village for each of us to truly step into our full self-actualization, purpose, embodiment, whatever that is, that highest self requires community. And that's why I have other coaches, epic, badass coaches like Patrick in this program, because it's like, no, he gets to round out these areas that are not my zone of genius, but it's creating this cohesive, holistic healing and success and embodiment journey to stepping into being influential and embodying our highest purpose, power, pleasure, and prosperity at that highest level. And that's the magic of what all of us are doing, because all of us are here to impact the world and create this revolution, and we get to do more together. Like,
that's absolutely right.
So much more together. It's so amazing. So as we wrap up, of course, some of you are in my Influential Alpha Leadership Workshop right now. We just wrapped up training number 3. All of the replays are still available through January 31st. So if you're in there, you still have time to get the homework done and do all the things, all the amazing things. Catch up if you still need to catch up. This is one of the bonus trainings for those of you who are catching this, who are not in the workshop. The workshop is available. It's bit.ly/influential. I'll put it here in the comments. If you are absolutely magnetized by everything that we talked about today, if you feel like you are like, Patrick, I need you in my life. I need you. You're the answer to everything based on what he shared today. Please feel free to message him, connect with him to learn more about his programs. If you are like, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine having this many epic people providing unlimited access and support, on-demand access, healing, accountability, all the things within these Influential Alpha leadership programs that I offer. If you're like, wow, that many epic people on my support team, reach out to me. We can have that chat. I still have a few spots left in my programs. And so we can chat and see if one of those is a fit for you. So just reach out to any of us in the DMs. Actually, you know what? I might have, boop, there we go. Hey, there's the link to join the workshop. Boop.
I love that one.
Sound effects. I did that earlier today too when I was doing training number 3. I was like, ding, ding, note here, the truth bomb I just dropped on you. So funny. So funny. So lots of options here, even if it's just all about the magic today. Janaki is just pumped because she's like, you guys have just massively filled my cup as she's going into her third eye class tonight. And just, right, your little self advertises and your great self magnetizes. Love it. Beautiful. So good. Yeah. She's writing in her gratitude journal before she goes to sleep of everything she's grateful for in her life now. And she always feels so much more vibrant and alive the next day. So, and I love your projection of my reflection. So good. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any final thoughts as we wrap up, Patrick? Any like big, just bam, That's the leave it all on the table. One mic drop moment.
What scares you the most, you need to lean into. And if you want to bring out who you are, it's not going to be something simple, right? You're going to have to take that leap into this world and realize that we'll take care of you. It's just you're going to have to get past that first initial hurdle. And it's like the 100 million pound phone call or typing of saying, I want to have a conversation. Conversation does not hurt. Conversation just gets you clarity. And if you feel safe, that's when you move forward. So I will say, if it scares you, you need to lean in. Ask the questions so you can get some real good answers. And hopefully you can come in the fam and have some fun with us.
No, yes, it is such a party. It really is. I mean, we're just like, la, la, la. We're just dancing all over the place, laughing our asses off because it is just such a party. And right, like even what Lisa said earlier about her experience doing this session with you. And I'll have some more bonus sessions and interviews, epic interviews next week too, as we wrap out this amazing month and the workshop and all the things. So, it's just amazing to see the powerful transformations people experience on this journey. And it's just, I'm honored to get to be a part of each and every one of their journeys. Like
that's so true.
Isn't that a gift? Like it's
it's just like, oh.
So much magic. All right. Well, we are over our time because, just like you said, right, the 30-minute call turned into 2 hours.
It was bananas. Like my cheeks hurt right now. I'm trying to like calm it down because I can't stop Kool-Aid smiling.
Kool-Aid man. Having fun is the fastest way we move through consciousness. Yes, absolutely. It's so fun, so playful. All right. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your magic and your genius and joining me today and sharing all the awesomeness that you do, both in your business and in the epic influential alpha programs that I offer. So like I said, for those of you who are interested in learning more, whether it's the whole combo package with me, shoot me that DM, hit me up in the Messenger. If it's Patrick is the magic button for you, hit Patrick up in Messenger, and we are happy to give you that clarity and support you in making the best and aligned decision for you and support you on your journey. So as always, thank you so much for joining us and have an amazing, amazing weekend. And remember, as always, you are enough. Take care.